The sky darkened with alien vessels, their massive metallic frames blocking out the sun. Dr. Hana Kim watched from the window of her research laboratory in Seoul, her hands gripping the edge of the steel workstation. Outside, the first wave of Zorak invasion ships descended like massive predatory birds, their energy signatures cutting through the atmosphere with surgical precision. Alarms blared across the city. People ran in every direction, their panic creating a human river of terror. Military jets scrambled, their engines roaring in defiance, but they looked like tiny insects against the overwhelming alien technology. The first plasma cannons from the motherships fired, turning entire city blocks into molten landscapes of destruction. Hana knew something was different about this invasion. Unlike previous alien encounters documented in global archives, the Zorak weren't interested in communication or negotiation. They came with one purpose: complete and total extermination. Her research computer blinked with incoming data streams. Satellite images showed simultaneous attacks happening across the globe. New York, London, Tokyo, Mumbai. No major city was being spared. The invasion was synchronized with terrifying efficiency. A loud explosion nearby shook the building. Dust and debris rained down from the laboratory ceiling. Hana quickly grabbed her most critical research files and a small portable hard drive containing years of xenobiological studies. She knew survival was now her primary mission. Military communications became increasingly desperate. Captain J. Park's voice crackled through the emergency radio channel. All units, this is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Defensive positions have been compromised. Recommend immediate evacuation of all civilian populations. The Zorak ground troops began their systematic ground invasion. They moved like precise machines, their exoskeleton armor deflecting conventional weapons with ease. Human tanks and artillery seemed like children's toys against their advanced technology. Each alien soldier stood nearly 3 meters tall, with multiple arms and a biomechanical design that merged organic and technological elements. Hana watched as her city transformed. Buildings crumbled. Streets became battlegrounds. The once bustling Seoul now looked like an apocalyptic landscape of smoke and destruction. Thousands of people were being herded or eliminated by the alien forces. Her research had always suggested the possibility of an advanced extraterrestrial civilization, but nothing prepared her for the brutal reality of their arrival. The Zorak weren't just conquering. They were systematically eliminating any potential resistance. Tactical nuclear responses from human military forces proved futile. The alien shields absorbed nuclear blasts like water absorbing a droplet. Each human counterattack was met with overwhelming and precise retaliation. Global communication networks started failing. Internet connections dropped. Cellular towers collapsed. The world was being systematically isolated and conquered. Humanity's technological infrastructure was being dismantled piece by piece. In her laboratory, Hana realized something extraordinary. The invasion patterns, the precise methodical approach, they suggested more than just a military conquest. The Zorak were conducting a surgical elimination of human potential. Her preliminary genetic scans showed something unique. Human DNA contained unexpected resilience markers. While the invasion seemed hopeless, she saw potential, a biological adaptability that the aliens might have underestimated. A loud crash interrupted her thoughts. The laboratory door buckled. Alien troops were searching every building, eliminating any potential human resistance. Hana knew her time was limited. She quickly encrypted her research and prepared a hidden transmission, hoping someone would receive her data. The first Zorak soldier burst through the door, its multiple mechanical arms scanning the room. Hana stood perfectly still, her scientific mind analyzing every movement, every technological detail of the alien invader. In that moment, surrounded by destruction and facing potential extinction, humanity's last hope rested on understanding. Not just survival, but comprehension. And Dr. Hana Kim was determined to unlock the secret that might save her species. The invasion had begun. Earth's darkest hour was now a reality. The mountain base was cold and damp, carved deep into the rocky terrain of what was once a national park in South Korea. Captain J. Park moved between rows of exhausted survivors, his eyes scanning their faces. Humanity had been reduced from billions to mere thousands in just weeks. Communication was fragile. Old radio systems and encrypted satellite networks became their lifeline. Every transmission risked detection by the Zorak scanning technologies. Survivors from different continents shared limited intelligence, piecing together their enemies' patterns like a complex puzzle. Sung Lee, a former Special Forces soldier, trained the remaining military personnel. Their weapons were a mix of salvaged military equipment and improvised technology. Conventional warfare had failed. Now survival demanded creativity and cunning. Dr. Hana Kim set up her makeshift laboratory in a small corner of the underground complex. Her research focused on understanding the Zorak biology and potential weaknesses. Blood samples, tissue analyses, and genetic scans covered her workstation. Something about human DNA intrigued her, a hidden potential waiting to be unlocked. Outside, scout teams risked their lives gathering intelligence. Drone fragments, alien technology pieces, and environmental data were brought back carefully. Each piece of information was precious. Each fragment could mean the difference between extinction and survival. The base housed approximately 537 survivors. Children, scientists, soldiers, and civilians lived in tight quarters. Food was rationed. Medical supplies were scarce. Hope was their most valuable resource. Communication intercepts revealed the Zorak weren't just conquering. They were systematically harvesting Earth's resources. Mineral extraction, atmospheric manipulation, and complete ecosystem restructuring were part of their invasion strategy. "We're not just fighting for our lives," Captain Park told his team during a strategy meeting. "We're fighting for our planet's future." Sung Lee developed unconventional combat techniques. Traditional military training meant nothing against the alien technology. They needed to think differently. Guerrilla tactics, psychological warfare, and strategic disruption became their new battlefield approach. Dr. Kim's breakthrough came unexpectedly. Human genetic markers showed remarkable adaptability. Unlike other species encountered by the Zorak, humans possessed a unique biological resilience. Stress, environmental changes, and extreme conditions seemed to trigger rapid genetic modifications. Her initial theories suggested a potential enhancement protocol. By understanding and manipulating these genetic markers, they might create a biological defense mechanism. It was risky. It was experimental. But it was their only hope. The first test subjects were volunteers, soldiers who understood the stakes, those willing to become something more than human to save humanity. Alien patrol drones frequently scanned the mountain regions. Each detection risked complete exposure. The resistance maintained strict communication protocols. Silent communication, encrypted signals, and minimal electronic signatures became their survival strategy. Food came from carefully managed underground hydroponic systems. Water was filtered through complex purification mechanisms. Every resource was recycled. Waste was minimized. Survival demanded absolute efficiency. Children in the base were taught survival skills alongside traditional education. Young minds were trained to think strategically, to understand the technological challenges they faced. They weren't just survivors. They were humanity's future architects. Psychological support was crucial. Trauma counseling, group discussions, and community building helped maintain mental resilience. The base wasn't just a military installation. It was a living, breathing ecosystem of human determination. Captain Park's leadership was tested daily. Maintaining morale, managing limited resources, and planning resistance strategies required constant adaptation. Every decision could mean life or death for their small community. Sung Lee's combat training programs became legendary. Soldiers learned to use terrain, understand alien technological limitations, and develop unconventional fighting techniques. They weren't just preparing to defend, they were preparing to fight back. As weeks turned into months, the mountain base became more than a hiding place. It transformed into a symbol of human resistance, a beacon of hope in a world conquered by alien forces. Dr. Hana Kim continued her research. her fingers moving across computer screens, analyzing data, searching for that one breakthrough that could change everything. The genetic enhancement protocol was developing, slowly, carefully, potentially revolutionary. Humanity's last stand was just beginning. The laboratory hummed with an eerie silence. Dr. Hana Kim stood before a group of volunteer soldiers, her hands steady as she explained the experimental procedure. Each participant understood the risks: complete genetic transformation or potential death. Sung Lee was the first candidate. His muscular frame tensed as the first genetic modification sequence began. Specialized nanobots coursed through his bloodstream, targeting specific genetic markers. The process was painful, unlike anything humans had experienced before. Monitors tracked his vital signs. Heart rate spiked. Body temperature fluctuated wildly. For several moments, it seemed like Lee might not survive the procedure. Captain J. Park watched from a secure observation room, his hands clenched into tight fists. Something extraordinary happened after 3 hours. Lee's body began to change. Muscle density increased. Neural connections multiplied. His reflexes became lightning fast. When he opened his eyes, the room's perception shifted. He could see electromagnetic waves, hear frequencies impossible to human ears, process information at speeds that defied normal human capabilities. The first test was simple, a standard physical endurance challenge. Lee lifted weights that would have crushed normal human bones. He moved with a precision that seemed almost supernatural. The scientific team watched in absolute amazement. Communication between enhanced cells worked differently. Lee could process complex tactical information in milliseconds. His brain now functioned like a living computer, analyzing multiple scenarios simultaneously. Other volunteers followed. Each transformation was unique. Some developed enhanced sensory capabilities. Others gained incredible healing abilities. A few developed a form of biological electromagnetic interference that could disrupt alien technologies. Dr. Kim discovered something remarkable. Human genetic structure contained dormant adaptability markers. The Zorak invasion had unknowingly triggered an evolutionary response. Humans weren't just defending themselves, they were rapidly evolving. The first enhanced squadron consisted of 12 soldiers. Their training combined traditional military tactics with their new biological capabilities. They could communicate through subtle electromagnetic signals, move without creating sound waves, heal injuries that would kill normal humans within minutes. Alien reconnaissance drones that passed over their mountain base detected nothing. The enhanced humans could mask their biological signatures, becoming invisible to advanced scanning technologies. Captain Park developed specialized combat strategies. Each enhanced soldier became a walking weapon system. Their bodies were now more advanced than the most sophisticated alien military technologies. Sung Lee led the first combat test mission. A small Zorak outpost located in a remote mountain region became their target. The mission seemed impossible by traditional military standards. Using their enhanced capabilities, the squadron moved like living shadows. They navigated terrain impossible for normal humans. Communicating through thought patterns, they coordinated, an attack that confused and overwhelmed the alien defenders. The result was shocking. 12 enhanced humans destroyed an entire alien outpost with minimal casualties. Zorak technology, which had decimated entire military divisions, now seemed almost primitive against human genetic enhancement. Intelligence gathered from the mission revealed critical information about alien infrastructure. Weak points, communication, networks, resource distribution systems. Each piece of data became a potential weapon. Dr. Kim's research continued. Each transformation provided new data, new understanding. The genetic enhancement protocol was no longer just a survival strategy. It was becoming a revolution. Psychological evaluations showed another unexpected result. Enhanced soldiers maintained their humanity. Their core emotional structures remained intact. They weren't losing their human essence. They were expanding. The mountain base transformed. What was once a desperate hiding place became a breeding ground for human potential. Children watched the enhanced soldiers with a mixture of fear and hope. They understood something fundamental was changing. Captain Park realized they were no longer just resisting. They were preparing to fight back. The Zorak had invaded Earth, expecting a quick conquest. They had no idea what was coming. Sung Lee stood at the observation window, looking out over the mountain landscape. His enhanced vision could see details miles away. He was living proof of human potential, of human resilience. The genetic transformation was complete. Humanity's next evolutionary stage had begun. The laboratory buzzed with intense energy. Dr. Hana Kim's fingers moved rapidly across holographic displays, analyzing complex data streams captured from alien communication networks. Fragments of Zorak technology lay scattered across examination, tables, each piece a potential key to understanding their weakness. Sung Lee stood nearby, his enhanced senses detecting microscopic changes in electromagnetic frequencies. Something was different about these alien communication patterns. Where others saw random signals, he saw intricate networks of information. Captain J. Park entered the research chamber, his eyes reflecting a mixture of hope and determination. "What have you discovered?" he asked, watching Kim's intense concentration. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. A tiny communication node, barely the size of a human fingernail, revealed a critical vulnerability in the Zorak neural network. Their entire technological infrastructure relied on a centralized quantum communication system. One weakness could potentially collapse their entire communication framework. Kim's research showed that the Zorak technology, while advanced, had a fundamental design flaw. Their interconnected systems created a perfect vulnerability. If they could introduce a specific quantum interference signal, they might be able to disrupt entire alien fleet operations. Enhanced soldiers began collecting additional alien technology fragments. Each piece was carefully analyzed, reverse-engineered, studied. What seemed like impossible technology to normal humans became puzzle pieces for the enhanced research team. Sung Lee's modified neural network allowed him to process technological information at unprecedented speeds. He could understand alien computer languages, decode complex communication protocols, and identify potential exploit points within seconds. The team developed a quantum disruption device, small, compact, capable of sending targeted interference signals that could potentially disable entire alien communication networks. It wasn't just a weapon. It was a potential game changer. Initial tests proved promising. Small alien drone networks became confused. Communication signals fragmented. For the first time, humans had a technological advantage against the invaders. Admiral Yun Choi coordinated global resistance teams. Communication was limited, but their network of surviving technological experts shared critical information. Each resistance cell became a potential strike point against the alien invasion. The quantum disruption device went through multiple iterations. Each version became more sophisticated, more precise, capable of targeting specific alien technological infrastructures with surgical accuracy. Kim discovered something extraordinary about the alien technology. Their advanced systems, while seemingly invincible, had a fundamental weakness. They relied too heavily on centralized communication. Introduce chaos into that system, and the entire network could collapse. Enhanced soldiers began training with the new technology. They learned to detect alien communication frequencies, understand their technological language, and potentially manipulate their systems. Their modified neural networks turned them into living communication interference devices. Reconnaissance missions became more sophisticated. Enhanced teams could now approach alien installations, gather critical intelligence, and withdraw without detection. Their biological modifications allowed them to mask their technological signatures. The Resistance discovered that the Zorak viewed technology as an extension of their biological systems. They didn't just use technology. They were deeply integrated with it. This integration became their greatest vulnerability. Sung Lee led a critical mission to an alien communication hub. Using the quantum disruption device and his enhanced capabilities, He managed to introduce a cascading interference signal into their primary communication network. The result was spectacular. Entire alien communication networks began to fragment. Drone systems became confused. Fleet coordination collapsed. For the first time, the invasion force showed signs of vulnerability. Admiral Choi coordinated a global synchronization of attack strategies. Resistance cells around the world prepared to exploit the technological breakthrough. What seemed impossible weeks ago now became a potential turning point. Dr. Kim watched the data streams, her eyes reflecting a mixture of scientific excitement and human determination. They weren't just defending anymore. They were fighting back, using the invaders' own technological complexity against them. The quantum disruption device represented more than a weapon. It was proof of human adaptability, proof that technological superiority could be challenged, proof that human creativity could overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. Sung Lee looked at the device, understanding its potential. Humanity's last stand was transforming into humanity's counterattack. The technological breakthrough had begun. The final battle erupted across Earth's atmosphere. Massive alien motherships filled the sky, their metallic surfaces reflecting the burning horizon. Humanity's enhanced forces prepared for the most critical moment in their species' history. Sung Lee stood on the forward observation deck, his enhanced vision scanning the alien fleet. Thousands of modified human soldiers surrounded him, each transformed by Dr. Hana Kim's genetic enhancement protocol. They were no longer just soldiers. They were humanity's ultimate weapon. Captain J. Park's voice echoed through their neural communication network. This is our moment. Everything we've survived, everything we've learned, it ends here. The quantum disruption devices were ready, strategically placed across critical points in the alien fleet's communication infrastructure. Each device represented years of research, countless sacrifices, and human determination. When the first interference signal launched, the effect was immediate. Alien motherships began to lose coordination. Communication networks fragmented. Precise, alien technological systems became confused, like a complex machine suddenly losing its primary control mechanism. Enhanced soldiers moved with superhuman precision. They could see electromagnetic frequencies, process information faster than any computer, communicate through thought patterns. The Zorak had no concept of the biological modifications humanity had achieved. Alien Commander Krell watched in disbelief as his invasion fleet began to collapse. Human resistance was nothing like their previous planetary conquests. These humans were adapting, evolving, fighting back in ways no species had done before. Dr. Kim's research had transformed human potential. Genetic modifications allowed soldiers to heal instantly, withstand extreme conditions, process tactical information at unprecedented speeds. Each enhanced human was now a living, breathing weapon system. The battle wasn't just fought with technology. It was a psychological warfare, unlike anything in galactic history. Human determination proved more powerful than advanced alien weaponry. Massive energy weapons from alien motherships fired, but enhanced human defensive systems absorbed and redirected the energy. Technological shields created from reverse-engineered alien systems protected critical human installations. Sung Lee led the primary assault team. Their objective was simple: disable the central alien command ship. Using their enhanced capabilities, they moved through space with incredible precision. Electromagnetic interference masked their approach. The central command ship represented the Zorak invasion's primary control mechanism. Destroy it, and the entire invasion fleet would collapse. Humanity's survival depended on this single mission. As they approached, alien defensive systems activated, massive energy weapons, automated defense protocols. But the enhanced human team anticipated every move. Their modified neural networks processed potential scenarios faster than alien computer systems. Commander Krell's final transmission was a mixture of shock and reluctant respect. Impossible. Humans were never supposed to. His communication cut off as the primary command ship exploded. Across Earth, alien invasion forces began to collapse. Without central coordination, their technological superiority meant nothing. Human resistance cells struck with precision. Each attack carefully planned, each movement calculated. Dr. Kim watched from the mountain base. Decades of research, countless sleepless nights. Humanity's potential was finally unleashed. They weren't just surviving. They were transforming. The battle lasted 47 hours. When silence finally descended, the sky cleared. Alien technology burned. Massive motherships became floating graveyards. Humanity had done the impossible. Sung Lee stood on the observation deck, looking at the transformed landscape. Cities destroyed, civilization in ruins. But something new was emerging. A humanity that had faced extinction and emerged stronger. Captain Park approached, placing a hand on Lee's shoulder. "We did it," he said simply. The enhanced soldiers began the reconstruction. Their modified bodies could work in extreme conditions. Heal quickly, process information rapidly. They weren't just soldiers anymore, they were humanity's architects. Dr. Kim's research had proven something fundamental. Human potential was limitless. Given the right circumstances, humans could adapt, evolve, overcome.